Hi and welcome to another book review. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favourite authors, which is Og Mandino and his book Mission Success. Now, Og Mandino has written 14 books, and this is one of them. I'm just actually rereading his books, and I'm really enjoying them. I've read them probably 3 or 4 times already, and this one is an interesting one. It's a bit different to his other books, but all his books are fiction, and he explains success principles through stories, and this is what I like. Also, the fact that the books are very short, so you can read them in a couple of settings. And this one in particular is a bit autobiographical because Og Mandino was in the Army Air Force in the Second World War, and this talks about this guy called Luke Gardiner, and he's drafted into the Air Force. He gets trained to do the bombing, and he's sent over to England, and he does all these bombing runs into Germany. So it talks about the story of this man. It actually starts off more in our day, where he's a successful businessman, and then it goes back into the story and how the seeds of success were actually planted in him. And so in the book, he basically during his when he gets leave, he goes to London, and he's told to go and stay in this particular hotel type place. And there's this lady called Winnie Marlowe that runs the place and owns it, and she kind of takes Luke under her wing, and also because he looks very much like her son that passed away very young, and she's a successful business person. She starts to teach him the seeds of success. And so, every time he's finished his bomb runs, he would go to London and spend a few days with this lady, and she would teach him certain principles. And this is kind of how the story unravels. And then he uses these principles during the bombing runs. He's very calm. He has this calming effect on the rest of the crew. And this helps him to succeed. So it's a very interesting, engaging story. Now, I'm not really into like historical kind of fiction thing, but I must say that this book really does flow. The writing style is very easy. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's easy to understand, and the success principles embedded in the story are really interesting and quick and easy to understand. So, great book. Quick read, as I said. Og Mandino. This was written back in the 1980s. Very interesting book. If you haven't read any of Og Mandino's book, I encourage you to maybe start off with this one. He's got loads of other books as well, but you can click on the link below to get a copy of Mission Success. If you have read Og Mandino, you're a fan of Og Mandino like myself, let's get the conversation going below. What books have you read that Og wrote, and what's your view on the books and that? So that's all from Fabrizio Poli here on this book review of Mission Success by Og Mandino, and I'll see you on the next one.